Welcome everyone, welcome. Welcome once again to the All Over It podcast, episode 10. On this July 7th, 2025. Yeah. Another day, we are alive. All live. Yeah, so today we have a good one. I would say a shorter episode today, so that should be a positive thing. Um Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about setting and achieving goals. That's key, key. But before we get into it, just you know, I give a few people 1 or 2 minutes to join in, but I can dive right into it. So I ain't taking long, I ain't wasting nobody time at all, and yeah, just know we here to increase knowledge and increase wealth. That's the idea. Whatever we could do to better ourselves to achieve these goals and continue elevating. That's the whole thing, the whole idea. But yeah, today's episode 10. Double digits. Yeah. We doing things. That's consistency. You know, that shows, like I say, I plan to be very consistent with this. I plan to have all over it podcasts, hundreds of episodes. Yeah, we're gonna be here every week. Yeah, whatever come in my life moving forward, I have to shift around this. I'm telling you, and it going to grow. I don't been looking into advancing things. Like I bought certain equipment to get started and thing, like ring light and different things, but I was doing some deliberation, checking like I gonna need a few other things, specifically maybe a mic. I gonna need another like camera. So instead of using the camera from my machine, I'll get another more better quality, more professional camera. Whereas all that just enhance the quality and the vibes. You don't know. That's all about elevation. So things start good and God bless how things have been progressing, but of course we always looking to grow and continue moving up in life. That's all we gotta do. Like I always say, just like a tree, start from a little seed and just grow, and then next thing you know, you got a big, humongous mango tree, 2 stories, 3 stories tall from a little seed. So all over podcast start from a seed in here. I thought about it, and I thought about it long and hard, and I really do my research, do my due diligence, put everything together, and now we here 10 episodes later. And I actually was thinking back on the first episode, checking like I actually was nervous, like I remember when I sit down here, like, maybe 30 minutes or hour before the episode had to start, heart beating, checking like, man, yeah, man, this thing serious, about to happen, about to be real, no turning back. You don't send out all kind of posts and things, say you're doing this, you can't say no, you're gonna do it, you know, you gotta follow through. But yeah, God bless. That's how it is. And some people might say, man, but Oliver, you'd be up in front of crowd of people on stage and thing talking. What are you talking about? You get nervous and thing, but all of us, even the best of us, even people who have years public speaking, you still might get little butterflies and thing here and there depending on the situation. But confidence come with preparation. When you know you're prepared, which even that first episode, I was extremely prepared. More prepared than I'll say maybe now, like these past episodes. Like I, of course, prepare all the time. I know what I'm going to say. I know what information I coming with. But yeah, I could tell you that first episode, I really sit down. I had a script. Bottom line, like I sit down. I put together everything I wanted to say, basically, and I check it. I sit down here and I do my thing. God bless. I executed well, delivered as intended, and yeah, it was well received. And now we here 10 episodes later, like SpongeBob. 10 episodes later. But yeah, so we here. Like I said today, good episode talking about setting and achieving goals. Last week and the week before, we was talking about telecommunication, and that was a good one for sure. Those were some good ones talking about how we need to elevate our telecommunication and internet connection on St. Martin, and how Starlink shaking up the place. So if you don't see that episode, go back, check it out. Episode 9 was about Starlink. Episode 8 was about more like mobile data, talking about like Telem and Flow and yeah, all that good stuff. Anyways, yeah, episode 10. I just gotta keep saying it. It's like I need like a cheers or like a applause, like episode 10. Woo! Good night, my mother. Love and blessings to Mary Williams in the chat. Big up yourself one time. Salute and thank you for the support. And I thank each and every one of you for joining and coming on each week. Like I always say, without you, there's no All Over It podcast. And like I say, I just keeping the momentum, staying consistent, and making sure I elevate and grow things. Like I mentioned, I'm looking to get one or two other equipment to get, things more better and looking better, sounding better, and just all around feeling better. Working on getting some assistance with video editing so I could make some more shorts and other videos out of these videos, share the motivational messages separate from the episodes, and yeah, just all around make things better and extend the reach and show people what we all about and what we talking about and what we showing people. That's what it's all about. Motivating and inspiring the masses. That's what All Over It podcast is all about. Motivate you to go get up, go out there, build your business, get your finances in order, set and achieve goals. Whatever it is you thinking, whatever idea you have in your mind that you say you want to you know, do it. Put it in your mind, put it on paper, plan it out good, execute it. That's me. That's how I just approach things. You know, when I got idea, I plan it out, I execute my plan. Once executed, you manage. That's all you gotta do after. Just manage, make sure everything running good, and yeah. So all that we can come back to, but yeah, I can get into the motivational message, which going to be short today. Today, the motivational message gonna be a little different because what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a short clip, less than a minute, of an interview on a different podcast called Diary of a CEO, which is a podcast, whereas the interviewer Steven, he interviews different CEOs and asks them, various questions about like how they made it, like how was it before getting to where they are, and how is it managing, and just sharing like business tips and life tips and a lot of different insights. So, bottom line in a nutshell, insights from CEOs and millionaires and billionaires on how they got where they got, kind of sharing information and knowledge so you could kind of like to help you, bottom line, inspire you, motivate you to make things happen for you as well, So, yeah, I'll get right into it. So, this episode is from a few days ago, June 30th, and it was an interview with Kevin O'Leary. So, for those who are not familiar, Kevin O'Leary is a very, very, very wealthy man. He is most known for Shark Tank because, that's a very popular show on TV, whereas him and other venture capitalists, so people who are billionaires or millionaires, very wealthy people, that they invest in startup companies. So the show is all about, if you have an idea, you have a business that you looking to develop and take to the next level, you go on Shark Tank and pitch your idea to them in hopes to gain funding from them, whether how much millions or billions, whatever it is you need, you decide you need. And yeah, he is one of the pivotal persons on the show because of his demeanor and personality, and yeah, just this was a very profound interview with him, and especially knowing his personality, it was kind of surprising to see and hear certain perspectives from him that he shared in this episode. But what I want to share is the snippet I'm going to share here now is close to the end. He was asked a question, which the interviewer always asked a question that was left from the previous interviewee. And the question that was posed, you're gonna hear, I'm gonna play it from the question and then his answer. And then I'll continue after that. So,
Where do you believe happiness really comes from?
I think the answer is very simple. Consistently achieving your goals. Because happiness is not a destination, it's a journey. That's what it is. So you have to set those goals, whether it's noise to signal, going full circle, what we talked about, or long term, whatever it is, it's consistently achieving those goals, you will be happy. Consistently not achieving them, you will be unhappy. Because it is not a destination. Happiness is not a destination, ever. It's a mistake that's so elusive. I mean, it's just not a destination. It's a journey. That's it.
This is one of the great things you've taught me today.
yeah, so, yeah, like I said, I just want to share that short clip, and I would say share that profound message, short and sweet message, which, just to recap, the question that was asked was, what do you find is true happiness? And his answer was setting and achieving your goals. And I find that amazing. That a big wealthy billionaire going to say that, in his opinion, to live a happy life, you have to set and achieve your goals. And I find that resonate well with me because Like I spoke about before in one of the previous episodes, I gave a message about no negative self talk. And I spoke about how I have signs up in my bathroom that says no negative self talk, set and achieve goals, and you are blessed. Kind of like affirmations, to like positive affirmations to see every morning. Let me just say like that. And I agree with O'Leary. You know, you get a profound sense of happiness when you achieve your goals. Like when you tell yourself like, okay, I going to do this specific thing, and then however much days, or maybe you do it within a day, however much hours it take you, you achieve it, and you look back and you're checking, wow, okay, I do that. It feels good when you plan something and it goes as planned. It feels so good. Like, I sure anybody could agree. Whatever it is you're doing, like whether you're somebody that planning a birthday party, or planning on whatever kind of party, or maybe you have to write a essay or a book, whatever it is. Maybe you use a mechanic and you say, yeah, you gotta change the tire, change the oil. Like, I don't know, you get this profound sense of happiness and peace, and just surreal a surreal feeling of like accomplishment when you tell yourself, okay, I want to do this thing, and you do it, plain and simple. Like Nike, just do it. Like, it's like you say you want to do it, set up yourself to do it, plan yourself how you're going to do it, and just do it. Like, you're gonna feel so good on the other side when you reach, like if you have to jump across a lake or a river, and you set up yourself, you say, okay, I can take this like long stick so I could use that as leverage, and just you know transition myself over on the other side. Or you tell yourself, okay, I can swim through it because the current ain't so strong, or whatever it is. You plan it, and then you visualize it in your head, and you say, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. And you set up yourself, you ready yourself, and you do it, you achieve it. Even like if you say, okay, man, I got a good product, or I got a good idea for a product, let me really develop it, plan and grow it, and then let me say, you say, okay, I can start my business, and you do all the paperwork, you fill out everything, and then you go deliver it to wherever. Or maybe 2025, so you don't gotta go nowhere, you could do it electronically or digitally, send it in. Then when you get a email or that paper saying, yeah, congratulations, you official, you feel good. You feel good. You feel so good. Many people go through life just existing. They don't set no goals, or they don't set dreams or aspirations for themselves. They just go through life living. It's just day in, day out. They breathe in. Whatever happened to them. And yeah, they just go through life living based on someone else's story or someone else's command. You know, you writing. I mean, instead of writing your own story, you live in someone else's. And that's why many people are living in a state of unhappiness. straight up, a state of unhappiness, a state of sadness and depression, you know, because they're not living in the purpose, they just existing, they just there, you know. I know you know where I'm coming from, you know, and that's why I agree wholeheartedly with that short clip from O'Leary talking about how, as he say in his out of his mouth, in his opinion, the true way to happiness in life is to set and achieve goals. Because I don't know, I sit down and I really think about it and I reflect on my life and I check in like you right. You know, like when somebody tell you a joke, you get happy, you laugh and thing. It bring up your spirit. It make you feel good, you know. So when you're with your friends or and you're telling jokes or maybe you're watching a stand-up comedy or a funny comedy video or whatever, yeah, that'll make you feel good for sure. But I don't last so long. You know, you laugh now and then cry later, like they say. But nah, you laugh now, but then that gonna wear off soon. You know, within a set period. You know, and yeah, is is a different thing when you achieve your goals. Like, it's a different type of feeling altogether. Like, first of all, it'll last days. Like a good example. The other day, maybe like a week or two ago, I tell myself, okay, look, I have to go on the road and I have to go a couple of places, handle some stuff. You know, I plan out my day. And that's something that I do on a regular, you know, before my day gets started, whether the night before, maybe even the morning of when I after I get up and I do my morning routine. I'll like literally plan out my day. Like if I have multiple places to go, I'll say, okay, I'll go here first, then there. Like literally strategically plan out my day, checking like, okay, maybe I'll go the farthest destination first and then work my way back. Or maybe the most important first, and you know, you organize yourself like that. And yeah, they had one of those days that I did that, and you know, I had something very important I had to do. I had to go by the chamber, then I had to go collect some funds, and you know, different things, go bank, different things. And you know, you feel good after, you know, you check all the boxes. It's like you say you're going to do this and you do it, and everything just go as planned. And you know, you look back and you're checking like, ah, yeah, nah, just how I say I was going to do is how it happened. You know, I don't know, it'll be profound. It'll be like a profound sense of happiness. Like, wow, like, okay, good, I do that. Or like I say, I went chamber. I been planning. Okay, let me say like this. I put together a business plan. I've been putting together this idea a while, and you know, doing my research, doing my due diligence, checking the market research, everything. Like that's me. I know how to put together business plans. I know the different elements of business plans. So I do comprehensive. I actually put together my own business plan for this business. And like I said, been planning it a little while now. And when chamber, you know, pay your money to register, you go through the whole process, do the application and thing. And You know, when you get a call, like, yeah, you know, Mr. Williams, your business officially registered. Congratulations, you could come for the document, blah, 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 blah. You feel good, man. You feel good. You feel so good. And that's all I trying to show I here today. You feel good. That's the topic of today. Feeling good. Setting and achieving goals makes you feel good, man. Brings happiness. So yeah, I agree with Olivi. Totally, totally, totally. You know, so bottom line, as I said just now, I like to plan out my day. I like to plan things out. I am man. I like structure. I do things organized, down to how I bathe, how I brush my teeth, how I wipe my boomsy. Yeah, structure, organized. It ain't just all kind of how I do it. No, I have a way I do it, an organized, strategic plan of approach always with everything I do. If I doing work, I visualize how I want to do it and I strategically approach it. I plan my approach and I do it, execute it just like that, you know. And this is what I'm saying. It'll make you feel good when you do that. Like it's like what? You feel smart. Check it what? I think about that, man. But then too, it make you feel like accomplished. It's like, okay, I say I gonna do this and it went just as planned, you know. You know, yesterday is a good example too. I've been saying I need to set up irrigation in my garden. And honestly, it was to a point I was checking the watering was unsustainable. Like I would have to pull hose and you know, like you pull this side and that side, and you know, you got your hose head and your watering and thing. But simply put, it would be a vibes like you know, I watering the garden mainly the things that the plants that I planted, you know, not the native just wild bush, you know, that around. And I look at it like the earth like a sponge. It's like let me say this the ground and you water over here. But then the water going kind of soak in a little bit and then disperse. So all over here going get water too. So if you put a little water for your plant that is here, then when it's soaked down in the earth, it can just like dissipate and spread out like you know like I think I'm trying like juice in water. You know, it's just spread out and mix. You know. So bottom line, when you go and you water that one plant, all the earth around there can just take up all that water. You know. So bottom line, it was unsustainable. I check in like I needed to set up an irrigation. I do a temporary setup for now. So I plan to set up drip irrigation because that's the most economical, you know, you save water, numerous benefits, long story short. But as a interim, you know, a temporary fix, I set up like some sprinklers, you know, I daisy chain them so like, you know, one going to the other to the next. And yeah, I planned this out from maybe a few weeks ago. I check in, okay. I literally stand up in the garden, check in, okay. If I put the sprinklers here, they gonna cover this ground, you know, get this coverage and so on. And you know, like I visualize everything before I even start to do it. You know, and that's me. Like I I good at that visualization and creation and those things, you know. So bottom line, as I say, this is the project I have to work on. This is the plan. of approach I'm going to take. I check in these are the materials I'm going to need. So like I say, I visualize what I wanted to do. I went get all the materials. I buy the hose and the couple sprinklers, and I went with a friend of mine, a contractor that we just work with, who we went and get like some metal poles, like kind of like think of like metal rods, so that I could get some height for the sprinklers, so that instead of them being on the ground, me putting them higher up off the ground and get more coverage to cover more of the garden. So all of that was my thought process. I checking like, yeah, that gonna be more better for me, more economical as well, because I get more spread, more cover, so I gotta put less. I get to cover more ground, so it need less, and all these different things. So yeah, yesterday this plan was executed. I got all the materials, everything. I had all the tools already, like the sledgehammer and the pliers, wire, all these different things. And like I say, the hose and them, I had already run them how I wanted to run them, and done had them ready. So like it was just to put down the poles, strap the sprinklers on the poles, put the hose, turn on, test them. Good. So yesterday, well, day before yesterday, contacted two of my friends and I asked them if they would be willing to come by and give me a hand, and they agreed. And yeah, we set a time. I went on time and pick up one of them. The next one come, pass by, and yeah, we execute. Everything went as planned. And when I sit down and watch them sprinklers on and just doing a thing, man, how warm it warmed my heart to see. Like, man, I've been planning this and I know I need this a while. And I check in like, it feel good to see a plan come to fruition, come to reality. It was in here and now it's there. It's alive and kicking. It's, man, I don't know how much more I could expound and show the profound happiness. I telling you, no joke. After we was done, and your plans doesn't always go as planned. So even like yesterday, rightfully, I daisy chain 3 sprinklers. I run like 3 of them with the hose and everything. But after we set them up and everything and run the put on the water, it didn't have enough pressure to you know run all 3 of them. So when my partner went, he like kind of blocked the hose for the third one. So we noticed like after he do that, then it run good. So it's okay because that section ain't really got nothing currently cultivate, planted. So I'll just work on a fix for that. But bottom line, just saying like your plans in life. Sometimes you plan things and it doesn't always go exactly as planned. You might have little hiccups and thing, and don't let that discourage you. I personally don't let that discourage me. I just find a way. But yeah, just sure to say, it is really feel nice. It does really feel nice when you plan something, you say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do this, and you do it, and then you see it looking just as as you had envisioned, you know, just like how you see, you know. So yeah, telling you, felt really good to sit down and see that sprinkler running, and yeah, checking like by, yeah, you know, we doing things, we elevating, you know, we achieving things, we getting organized, but not just that, just moving up, you know, just growing in life, and making things happen, you know. So, you know, that'll be the good feeling, cause you feel like, wow, okay, I say I'm gonna do it and I do it. And all of that is why a lot of people doesn't plan or just be in a state of unhappiness because they themselves don't trust in themselves. You know, they themselves checking like they let themselves down numerous times, and they checking like, by if I can't depend on my own self, how anybody else could depend on me, you know. But no, you gotta start believing in yourself now. You check, okay, maybe in the past you had little slip ups, you say you're going to do something and you won't do it, and you know, now you're checking like, by I ain't reliable. I can't even trust in my own word, you know? But no, that's the past. You can't keep living in the past. Yes, knowing what happened in the past is be helpful for us to move forward in the future, but I don't mean you gotta live and stay living in the past. You know, we gotta move forward and elevate and grow always, you know. So, you know, yeah, a lot of people they themselves don't believe in themselves, so they checking by. They ain't even gonna uh try reach for no goals, you know. They just going do what they can, and however it go, you know. But no, if you start to believe in yourself, things going to change and things will get better, and you'll see that positive change within you. You'll see within yourself, you'll say like, why, you know what, maybe before I didn't used to be reliable, I didn't used to be on the ball or on the button, but now, you know, I'm getting better and I'm doing better for myself, you know. You gotta turn things around for yourself. Nobody can do that for you. You know, so yeah, say all that to say you really get a profound happiness when you set and achieve goals, and you know, believe in yourself and stay consistent. You know, so I agree with O'Leary. Happiness is, or at least can come from, setting and achieving goals. Different people may have different perspective or see life different, of course, but I agree with that sentiment, you know. So, bottom line, I'll say set and achieve goals. You can feel good, you can bring happiness, and believe in yourself and stay consistent. Which I had a motivational message about that in one of the previous episodes, if I'm not mistaken, episode 8, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, if you want that message, or if you want to hear or feel like, well, yeah, I want to get motivation to believe in myself and stay consistent, go check out that episode too. You know, love, that's love. You know, but yeah, once again, I can tell you, episode 10, we here with it. Yeah, 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 double digits. We staying consistent, and this year is another goal I would say I achieved, but still achieving, you know, because it's still ongoing, you know. But to start this was a goal which I set, which was a smart goal, which we're going to touch on just now. And get into smart goals, setting smart goals, you know. But yeah, starting this podcast was a smart goal for me. I had set a date. I said, on this day I can do it, and I set up everything. I set up myself. I get myself ready. Like I say earlier in this episode, I prepared. Episode one, I was well prepared, like kind of over prepared. Like these other ones, I doesn't be as prepared as episode one. I'll be totally transparent and honest about that, But trust and believe, I always ready and prepared for these episodes. Every episode, I know what I'm going to talk about. Every episode. But yeah, episode one was I would say, looking back, I was over prepared. Like I said earlier in this episode, I was a little nervous, despite being somebody that does be in front of crowd, public speaking, toastmaster, you know, been political candidate, all kind of thing, you know. You still get a little butterflies, a little uneasy feeling like, bye, I hope I deliver this code, I hope like it goes well, I hope people receive it well, and these different things, But me, I just rebuke negative thoughts and just stay positive, check in. Yeah, I ready, I prepare myself, and people gonna love the vibes because the good vibes I on. And even if they have people that dislike it or negative towards it, haters gonna always hate. And guess what, we gonna always elevate no matter what. You check. Yeah. So it but yeah, this was a smart goal for me. I set a measurable, specific, and achievable date and goal for this podcast, and I achieved it, and I executed that first episode well. It went well, and I conquered. Conquering lion spirit came, saw, and conquered, as I do every Monday moving forward, like since then, and moving forward. So yeah, God bless. So we go. So yeah, like I said, today I'm going to expound a little bit more on SMART goals. Many people, they many people, when they think on SMART goals, or when they hear the term SMART goals, they think, just doing your goals or reaching for your goals in a smart way, in a sense of like, whatever you do it smart. But smart goals, they have a lot more to smart goals than that. Is a whole like body of principles, like a framework. Whereas the smart is actually an acronym for different, it has a meaning. Let me just say in a nutshell. So I'm going to expound a little bit on that, and trust and believe, this is education I'm giving you here right now. This is knowledge increase right now, because this is things I learn in like different trainings I do over, during my life. Let me just say, whether recent, couple years ago, in different settings, whether when I was in the States, when I was working AUC, even when I was working first response, outside work capacity, like in let's say like on my personal knowledge increase journey, because for me personally, I believe in lifelong learning, so even when I finish learning something, I looking at what else I could learn. I always trying to grow my knowledge base and increase my brain, you know like they say, like when you have a lot of knowledge, your brain will be like wrinkly. I think my brain, they are like a crush up paper self, like wrinkle up, wrinkle up. But yeah, the smart goals is a serious thing, and yeah, I believe in lifelong learning. Like I say, I can actually talk about a course, business course I just started last week. But even so, a few months ago, like around March, April, I received a certification for a train the trainer course I did through Toastmasters. And all of these things is like setting and achieving goals, but like growing and elevating yourself in your life, and you feel good about yourself when you learn new things, and you say like, okay, I can do this, and you do it. Bottom line. So yeah, right now I a certified trainer. I could train you, and technically that's kind of what I'm doing. Like training people on a mass level, on a larger scale, instead of just in a room with a group of people, maybe 20 people or so on, or maybe even if you do like a room of 100, like a big conference or whatever, however you go. But nonetheless, training, and yeah, like I say, just start a business course, because even in that course, majority of the things they talking about, I touch on, going to touch on, is things I know. Like I would say, like I say, putting together a business plan is things they're gonna be touching on in the class. I have that knowledge, but how I look at it is, despite I know certain, if not most, other topics that are going to be shared, I check in. You never know what I could learn or what I could pick up, even though certain other topics I know, you know. So I might pick up something on that topic that I didn't even pick up before. So even like certain people will tell you, yeah, when you read a book, don't just read it once, read it again, because then you might miss something, that you didn't notice before. Same concept. But yeah, apart from that too, get to network with other people in, like-minded individuals, people in the same sector and realm as me, and those different things. So on a whole new journey, a whole new goal to achieve that and complete that course and get the certification, and just elevate and grow myself, striving for higher heights, soaring like an eagle, to higher heights. Long story short, so yeah, I can get into the smart goals, and then touch a little bit on the course that I joined, and then close off. So like I said, today ain't gonna be no long episode, I promise you that. Put on everything, put on money I ain't even get yet. Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, today we're talking about smart goals. Let me see if I can at least increase. Yeah, bam. So at least that looks a little better. So like I mentioned earlier, smart goals are not just like doing your goal in a smart way. It's an acronym for something. So as it says here, what are smart goals? Smart goals are a framework designed to help you set clear and actionable objectives. The acronym SMART, SMART, stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Each of these components help you create goals that are not just vague wishes, but concrete targets that can be accomplished step by step. So, to just say what that is saying in a simple terms, many people, when they set a goal, they say, yeah, I want to be the richest man in the world. But that's like a vague wish. It don't really have no steps or a plan to reach to that goal, you know. But using like the framework of the SMART goals, you get to make it something more concrete, something more reachable, something more achievable. Like it says, a concrete target that can be accomplished step by step. You know? So continuing on to expound on each letter of the acronym. So S, which is the first letter, stands for specific. So a goal should be clear and well defined. You know, like I said just now, not just, yeah, I want to be the richest man in the world. You know, you should have a clear, well defined goal of what it is, how you're going to reach there, when you're going to reach there, things like that, like who, what, when, where, why, like how they teach us from primary school, is like kind of using that within the framework to plan yourself. But yeah, as it says, rather than saying I want to be better at my job, a specific goal would be I want to improve my communication skills with my team. This ensures there's no ambiguity, meaning like just vagueness, making it easier to stay focused. Moving on, measurable, which is M, so SMART, M. M for measurable. A measurable goal has criteria to track progress and success. For example, instead of increase sales, a measurable goal might be increase sales by 15% in the next quarter. Being able to measure progress helps keep you motivated and give you something concrete to strive for. So I just want to touch on that a little bit, like how it says being able to measure the progress helps you keep motivated. That's something that is key, because a lot of us, maybe we might have goals and we might start on our goals, you know. A lot of us get off to a great start. We start off hot, and then we just die down and trickle down over time until we just stop altogether, you know. And many times is because it's not measurable. It's because we don't have no way to see that we reaching to the goal, in a sense of, like it say, if you just say I want increase sales, but you don't say like by how much. If you do increase the sales, you don't really gonna know if you did, or like if you yourself ain't see no increase, you're going to get demotivated and feel like, by, you know, you're gonna give up on a goal basically. But when you make it something measurable, then you have a more chance of reaching for it, because it's like how they say, like set steps, like a plan of approach, you know. So when you accomplish step one, it's like, okay, I do that already, so now on to the next one. So you could see like you're reaching somewhere, like you're climbing the steps, you know. It's like literally like you're at the bottom of the steps, and you say, okay, step one is this, step two is this, step three is this, and you tell yourself, okay, I reached step one. You put your first foot up, your second foot up, you reach, you know. Then you say, okay, step two is this, first foot, second foot, okay, and then two tools, by the time you check stack, you at the top of the steps, you know. So that's where measurable come in, like seeing those steps, like setting those steps and seeing them, that you're reaching them, so that you could stay motivated and keep reaching, you know, to higher heights. Good night, DTM, Jackie B, blessings. Thank you for joining. Appreciate the support, love. You know, right now you're talking about SMART goals. So we started on the S, we did the M. Now we're moving on to the A, which is for achievable. An achievable goal is realistic given your current resources, skills, and time frame. For instance, setting a goal to finish a professional certification in 3 months could be achievable if you're already familiar with the subject, while aiming for an impossible target could lead to frustration and burnout. So, like I mentioned just now, like when it's something that is not measurable, that is not achievable, it might start out hot, and you say, "Yeah, boy, I gonna be a millionaire," and you start doing all this different work, and you do this and that work, and you're checking, yeah, you get this money here and that money there, and you save it in this way, but then it's not really achievable in a sense of for you to reach a millionaire, you have to reach certain prerequisites, you have to reach certain levels before, or you have to do certain things before you can reach there. So it's like achievable, basically saying like don't set the finish line or the goal too far away that you can't reach it and that you get burnout before you reach it. So it's like think on like you decide you want to run 100 mile, and you start out good, you running, going, you decide you pace yourself so you don't burn out yourself, but then still maybe you ain't like trained good, so like they say, you don't have the current resources, skills, or you're not ready. Let me just put it like that. You're not ready to achieve that goal because it's too big, it's out of reach for you. That's basically what achievable is saying. So you start on this 100-meter race, and you say to yourself like, yeah, you're gonna get there and you're gonna do it and you're gonna make it, but then before you reach the end, you get so tired and beat out and burn out, you're checking, bye, nah, bye. Or maybe you just drop right close to the finish line. You get burn out, you can't make it. But that's what achievable is. Setting a goal that you could reach, even if you like set smaller achievable goals that is like, okay, I can do this in this amount of time, and then once that's done, then you do the next one, and it's like a bunch of small intervals. Even that is good, but when you set like a big hard to reach goal, it really make it harder for yourself to stay consistent and believe in yourself to reach to that goal. You don't really need like maybe external motivation, or like you'll have to have like a real like process where you like does recenter yourself and like restore yourself, and like bring back the positivity and the drive back into you, to keep pushing to achieve, because certain goals, certain uphill battles does be difficult. It's like you're trying to climb Mount Everest, or you're trying to push a rock uphill, a boulder, a big boulder uphill, but you could do it, once you strategically plan how you're going to get it up, or how you're going to reach up. But if you just say, okay, let me just run up the hill, or let me just push till it reach, like after a while you burn out yourself and checking like, I can't do this, and then you might give up. So this is why smart goals are important. Important. So continuing on, SMAR. R is for relevant. Make sure your goals are relevant. If a goal doesn't connect with your values or long-term plans, it's harder to stay motivated. You know, your goal should matter to you and align with your broader objectives. A relevant goal could be lead a project that aligns with the company's mission to improve sustainability, for instance. Or let's say a relevant goal, maybe if you are somebody who is a aspiring business owner, or somebody who is a business owner but you want to better your business acumen or your business skills, maybe a relevant goal could be achieve or complete a course training course in business management, let's say, for instance. So something relevant or relatable to you and your broad or long term goals. And because it's aligned closely with what you want to do and where you see your life going in the future, you going to be able to stay motivated, or it'll be easier to stay motivated because it closely aligns, it resonates with you and what you like and what you want to do and what you see for yourself in the future. So that's what relevant is about. And last but not least, T is for time bound. A time bound goal has a clear deadline. Without a time frame, it's easy to procrastinate and lose focus. For example, complete a marketing report within 2 weeks is a time bound goal, giving you a sense of urgency and helping you manage your time effectively. So when you do this, when you set a time, it keeps you accountable. It makes you say like, why? I say I want to do this next week, so I gotta make sure I jump on it. I gotta make sure I do this to get there. I do these different things, take these steps to reach to that goal. So like I say, if you decide, okay, whether you're on a job or maybe for personal life, you have to put together like a essay or like a press release or whatever document. You have to put together a document for the boss for next week, or maybe for your own personal finances. You decide you want to create a budget for yourself and start like tracking your expenses. So you're checking like buy, you gotta put together like an Excel sheet or so on for that. You set a time bound limit or deadline, clear deadline for you to do that. So you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to create that document next week, by next week. Then let me clarify that, not next week. Not you're going to do it next week, you're going to do it before or complete it by next week, and doing that, like I say, keeps you accountable, help you stay focused, procrastinate less, because it'll be like that kind of monkey on your back, or that like you'll kind of constantly remind yourself like, bah, yeah, I gotta do this. I tell myself I want to do this by next week, so I gotta make sure I do this so I can finish that, and yeah, that's what it's all about. It's all about setting and achieving goals. That's like O'Leary said, that's where true happiness come from. So I'll just share this one example and then I'll close off with this one. So example one, SMART goal for professional development. SMART goals are a great way to create a clear path for career growth, skill development, or earning certifications. By setting specific targets, measurable milestones, and a timeline, you can easily track your progress and stay focused on your career goals. So, an example is complete advanced leadership training within 6 months to prepare for a senior role. Attend 3 workshops and complete one certification course to build the required skills. So I like that because the person checking like, okay, they want to grow within the company, or let me say they want to get a promotion, let me just say simply get more money, bottom line. And they check in order to do that, they're going to complete an advanced leadership training, and they set a deadline, a timeline for when they want to complete that goal by, so they could prepare for a senior role. They check in, they know they in let me say a lower position within the company, and they want to get a promotion, reach higher, get more money, whatever, and they decide this is the approach they're going to take. And on top of that, they know that they don't have the required skills in order to, let me say, reach to that goal, or like they don't have the required skills to achieve it at the moment, but they outline what they need to do to get or build these required skills so that they could reach to where they're trying to reach. And I like that because a lot of us, whether here in St. Martin, whether in the States, whether in Holland, wherever you be, where you're working, a lot of us working a job and maybe want more money, maybe things tight for whatever reason, maybe home situation not so easy, and you want more money, you want a raise. So maybe you go to the boss and you decide, okay, I can ask for a raise. But most people don't get a raise because they don't have the necessary skills to for the raise. Like in a sense of, usually you get a raise because the boss checking, okay, we could give you more responsibility, you get more tasks on the on your plate. So then they're checking like they're gonna give you more money because you're doing more. Or for instance, if you're in a certain position but you're checking, you want to, like this example mentioned, you want to reach to a higher heights, you want to reach to the next level. Maybe you're a customer service rep, but you want to be a supervisor, or maybe you're a supervisor, or maybe you're even on the maybe a teller in the bank, but you want to be a manager. You know, so you got levels you gotta reach, you got steps you gotta take to reach there. And many people, they just like they don't consider that. They just checking like, buy, I need more money, so they go ask the boss for more money. But I like this example because it shows you a clear way, or a simple concise goal to increase your worth, increase your revenue, increase your income. So increase your value to the company, which also going to increase the income that you receive because they're going to pay you more. Long story short, so in my tenures in my previous employment, that's what I would do. Like I say, I always elevate myself. Lifelong learning is what I believe in. So no matter the place I work in, I always doing different certifications, doing different things to elevate myself. you know a good example, when I had start working at AUC, the medical school, I was fresh out of college. I had experience in the field, but not really professionally. So my pay was, as they would say, competitive, but still low. Let me say, given the sector, But they did outline that if I take the necessary trainings and certifications for, let me say, this specific equipment and thing, and I do elevate myself, I could see growth within the company and thing. Honestly, during my tenure, it didn't really look much like that, you know, but I did grow myself, and I did do as, let me say, they said. I did different courses and, elevated myself to gain more knowledge and more insight on how these different things work so that's a good way for you to increase your worth on the job, but also just get more money. I know a lot of us want to raise, a lot of us need more money for whatever reason. I just want a little more comfortable life. Maybe we checking like, man, I want to take more vacation, so I need to save more, and whatever it is, a good way to do that is, while you're there working, take some little trainings. You could do certifications online, like all kind of certification, free certification and thing. you could do maybe a couple of hours. You don't even gotta do no long thing, or if you want, you could do one couple of weeks, and just increase your knowledge, increase your wealth, and increase your value. So then now, when you go to the boss man and check in, like, yeah, I want a raise, you could tell him, okay, well, look, I want a raise. I have this certification now. I have this under my belt. I do this, I do that. And you have no choice to what to say, like, wow, okay, man, we gotta put you higher than you want to even go. So yeah, that's what I really trying to show you, and the point and that I trying to make with the smart goals. So last but not least, a goal or a new mission or journey I started a business course through the credits program. So for those of you who know me well, know that I am slash was the presenter for Credits Agri Loan Info Session. So Credits recently launched a agri loan, so a loan for specifically the agricultural sector, and because it's a new thing that they bring into the market, they decided they wanted to do an info session first to see who would be interested, and gauge the interest in what's to come. So now it's here, and God bless, I am fortunate enough to be a part of the class. So I was requested to do the info session, but I purposefully chose to not, let me say, be a presenter in the class, because I said I wanted to take the class, you know. And like I say, despite me having like business acumen and different business knowledge, I actually started an MBA already, so I know about business. But I say you never know what you could learn. And like I said, networking with other people is always a plus too. So, and like I say, the class started last week, so on a new journey. God bless, you know. But yeah, the class started last week, but I could see, I already see this going to be a good class, and I don't see like the people in the class, the participants, the the presenters. It's going to be a positive next couple of weeks. I really feel good, and I gotta stay consistent. Like I talk about consistency with this one, I have to stay consistent, because if I miss like one or two classes, I don't get a certification, I don't complete the course, and yeah, but yeah, me, I about consistency. So yeah, bottom line, last week, Credits launched its first agribusiness academy in St. Martin. So they've been doing this already in certain other Dutch Caribbean islands, Borneo, Curacao, and so on. But now we finally launched it here in St. Martin, and this article came out July 6th, 2025, which was yesterday. And yeah, look me right there, front and center, big red shot standing out, red, bravery and strength and courage. Yeah, you don't know. And so yeah, this is a picture with a few other credits members, the persons who are employed and the persons who created this program in credits, the participants of the class, so the attendees, they have certain persons from the governmental apparatus. We have our Minister of TIAT right here in the center, right in the middle, right next to me. We have members from the Netherlands, and yeah, just the lecturers and just a whole nice group of persons here. And yeah, as the article reads, small business funding agency Credits launches its first agribusiness academy last Thursday, which it describes as a transformative initiative aimed at strengthening the island's agricultural and fisheries sector. It's a free 12-week program which blends business and agricultural education. It has about 19 participants, most of whom are entrepreneurs in the sector. The course will offer practical training in farming and innovation, entrepreneurship, business finance, and sustainable practices. The program is supported by the Ministry of TIAT, funded by the Dutch Ministry of Kingdom Relations, Temporary Work Organization, TWO, and organized by the St. Martin branch of Credits and Social Finance Consulting. Yeah, so I'll share the link so you could read the rest of the article, but bottom line, article in newspaper with me front and center talking about this credits agri loan, which is, like I said, a new loan that they brought to the market now. So how it is, they are now providing loans for agricultural businesses in the agricultural sector, not just farming. Most people think I'm just a farm or planting, but agriculture have a lot more to it than that. A lot, which I gave a whole presentation about that. But anyways, yeah, agriculture have a lot to do, more to do than just planting, you know. But yeah, they're providing loans at an interest rate of 2% for, persons interested in the agricultural sector. And the course is, like it says, a 12-week course where you'll get practical training, but also in class training and like business, like entrepreneurship mindset, also like building business plans, dealing with taxation, government regulations, all these different things. Just a whole vast suite of information to strengthen you and empower you, the entrepreneur, to get you ready to take your journey, you know, in entrepreneurship and business ownership. Or if you're already on the journey, just strengthen you and help you do things in a better, more strategic way, you know. To touch a little bit, the credits web page, just to touch a little bit more about these services. So like I mentioned already, I touch on the services and the credits company a little bit in one of my previous episodes, where I spoke about the agricultural sector. I did touch a little bit about the loan, but now we hear the loan here. And yeah, so they have a wealth of services, so where, credit or loans is concerned, mentoring, business development, so they help you with, like I say, microloans. So a good idea deserves good financing. You can contact us for a business loan up to 50,000 US. They also provide mentoring. As an entrepreneur, you sometimes need a sparring partner. A credits mentor can help you, you know. Assets and repairs. So credits offers entrepreneurs the opportunity to apply for funds to help meet the expenses of their company or its recovery. Funds will consist of part subsidy and part loan amount from the SXMA program for the reconstruction of St. Martin after Hurricane Irma and the coronavirus. So that was an initiative, let's say, after Irma devastation and, COVID. They started an initiative to help businesses kind of get back on their feet. So they provide a loan part subsidy to, help you get things back going, you know. Hey Ray, blessings Ray, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. And yeah, they also have an energy loan, so designed for small and medium-sized entrepreneurs aiming to enhance their energy efficiency. Entrepreneurs are offered up to a maximum of 15,000 with the energy loan. So that's basically like if you have a business but you want to do it more, you know, like how we looking at climate change and cost efficiency and renewable resources and using solar energy or whatever renewable energy you decide. This energy loan is to help you do that. So they provide you with a loan so you could get equipment and you just pay it back. The website is very user friendly and very intuitive. You could see like how much it'll be if you decide how much you want and how long you want to pay, how much the monthly payments would be. They have some statistics about like how much money they distributed already, how much loans issued to entrepreneurs, jobs created, a lot of different things, their core values, so like more about credits, and a lot of different information. So yeah, it's a good website to pass on. You learn a lot. But mainly what I want to touch on is like I say, they have credit options whereas you could gain funding for different business opportunities. You come with a business plan, or if you don't have a business plan, they have business development options where they help you write your business plan. They have business plan template that helps you like walk through the steps. And basically I like the credits business plan template. Even me, more recently, because I've put together business plans before, but my last business plan I put together, I used the credits business plan template as a kind of like outline, and it was helpful because it's comprehensive. It has like questions about you, about like what you want to do, where you see the business going, what products, pricing, who's your competitors, like very comprehensive. So how I see it, when you follow out that template from them, you basically have your whole business plan. It's just to now put it in a nice business plan, financial plan format, and get it ready for pitching, for to pitch it to your investors. And yeah, so yeah, they have resources to help you develop your business, whether write your plan or just other things to help you, get things going. And yeah, mentorship. So a lot of different sources. I do recommend you to go and check out the site. And yeah, I feel like you will find something interesting. Just saying, credits is also throughout the Dutch Caribbean islands. So if you're somebody in one of the other Dutch Caribbean islands, whether Bonaire, Curacao, whichever one, they also have these services available. So yeah, check out the credits website, and yeah, I believe you can find something that could help you increase your wealth and your knowledge base for sure. Just like all over it podcast, episode 10 today. I just gotta keep saying that. I love that. I like, wow, we doing things, man. You see, as Ray say, keep it up. Keep it up, Oliver. We doing things. We striving. We striving for greatness, and we really like soaring to higher heights, just elevating. That's a mindset. That's all I about right now. Just like like when a bird take off and you see the eagle up high in the air, just soaring above everything, just absorbing, or like I always say, just like the tree, when you plant the seed, The little itty bitty seed, like they say, like faith of a mustard seed, they say in the Bible, like a little nothing. And when you see the big monstrosity that comes out of that little nothing, it's amazing, you know? When you plant a seed and you see the big 50-year, 100-year tree that come out of that, it's like, wow. You know, so, yeah, that's what it's all about. Believing in yourself. That tree believe it would have grow. Nothing would have stop it. That tree believe that even though it ain't getting so much rain this month or these couple of months, it going to survive and it going to sustain and make sure that no matter the environment, no matter the turmoil it experiencing, the trials and tribulations that we experience, we gonna make it up. We gonna reach up there. Once we keep striving, once we keep soaring to higher heights and setting and achieving goals. So, like I said, that's what this episode was about. Smart goals. We gotta be smart about life. Like they say, work smart, not hard. Yeah, I gotta work hard. I gotta put in work, you know? And yeah, that's why I want to see for you to put in the work so that you could feel good when you achieve what you plan and set out to do. So Ray asked me a good question there. Ray's question is, can people call in on your program? So to answer your question, Ray, at the moment, no. But that is to come. You know, so earlier in this episode, like before the motivational message and I got into the topic of the day, I expressed that, you know, being as today is episode 10, you know, I spoke about the profound happiness I have of, you know, reaching to 10 episodes and trust and believe 10 times 10 to come and more, you know. And yeah, I, I, I really talk about how I striving to stay consistent and making sure every week I have a good episode in store for you. You know, good content, things to make I feel good, to make everybody that join resonate. Whatever it is, something that gonna resonate with you or make you leave with something that, like I say, make you feel good and make you feel like, no man, I gotta get up, I gotta reach for my purpose, I gotta execute the plans I've been thinking, the things that I've been having in my head, I gotta do something with them, not just keep them in my head, you know. And what you ask about calling in is part of my steps of elevation moving forward. So, like I expressed, I have plans to purchase a few equipment, namely a microphone, like a professional studio microphone, which I had one. I had a nice USB microphone, and it, you know, it was there a long time, so, you know, it stopped working. So I need another microphone. I say I'll buy another professional camera as well so that you could see me well. And also I plan to purchase, or let's say just advance the All Over It podcast program so that I could start doing interviews with persons and also maybe get call-ins from persons in the audience while I'm live. You know, so all these things are to come. Trust and believe. The All Over It podcast is doing things, but we striving for higher and better. Striving for higher heights. Always, always, always. Even when we reach to the tip of the mountain, we're checking like, wow, okay, over there I got a higher mountain, but I gotta reach on that one now. You know? So So we go. And yeah, exactly like you say, calling in can eat a lot of time, you know. But yeah, we could do it in a way that, let me say, you give people a set time period that once they call in, they say what they gotta say, and respectfully, you let them know like, okay, well, your time has reached if they go on too long, and you work it out in a way that's respectful. Of course, it's all about respect and love, and just sharing love and blessings and prosperity. So yeah, that's why all about love, blessings, and prosperity. I want you to feel the love and the blessings coming through this camera straight to you. You know, I want you to feel the upliftment and the empowerment coming to you from over on my end to you. You know, when you listen to the sound of my voice, I want you to feel motivated and inspired to get up and go out and do what you want to do, and it's love, you know. As you know, I always talk about business and business vibes, but a good businessman need to know how to set and achieve goals. A good businessman need to know how to do things measurable, how to not set unattainable or unreachable goals, things that you could do that ain't gonna just make you give up on yourself. So all of it, just know, all of what I talk about here on this podcast is about empowerment and business development for you. I want you to develop your business, whether it's you going out and selling something to somebody, or you checking, what, I going to do real estate, or I going to invest in stocks, or whatever it is. I want you to feel inspired and empowered to go and invest in yourself first, and then after that, start to go and make investments in financially, or just ways to grow and better yourself and your situation for you, your family, and everybody around you. So yeah, that's what All Over It podcast is all about. Everybody been asking me, like certain friends or people like meet on the road, they checking, yeah, what's the purpose of this podcast? Like, what you doing this podcast for? And in a nutshell, motivation, inspiration. That's what it's about. Trying to make you feel like how I feel, in a sense of motivate you like how I'd be motivated and inspired by, honestly, sometimes the smallest of things. So that's why I always give God grace and thanks, because He always in my life, and even in the smallest ways, He does show me that He there present, and I just try my best to see and recognize those things in my life. Those times where He show these signs, or He provide these signs of growth and grace and love, you know, love and blessings. But yeah, thanks again to everybody for tuning in to another profound episode of All Over It podcast. Episode 10. Man, we double digits now. Oh, yeah, love. We doing things. We is double digits now. Yeah, that's commendable. I feel, for me, for sure, I commend myself. Pat on the back, Ali. Dust off your shoulders. You're doing things, Oliver. And trust, like I say, I trying to get you to do things too. Yeah, it's love, it's love. So bottom line, I here to inspire you. If you don't catch it from the start, I recommend you to go back and check this episode, because trust me, it's good. Inspiration for you to set and achieve goals, you know, to feel fulfilled in life. I telling you, it going to fill your cup till your cup run over. You're going to feel so good. You're going to feel so fulfilled in life when you set and achieve goals. You're gonna forget all that bad talk and all that negative talk you throw on yourself, telling yourself, boy, I can't do that, I can't do this ain't for me, all them dumbness, all them nonsense. Yeah, and tell it to you straight just like that, you know? So yeah. Go back, check out this episode. You will feel inspired, I promise you that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because what? You're going to want to see what's to come. We getting bigger and better. We on double digits now. So of course we growing, we getting bigger and better, and trust and believe. Every week, every episode will be good content that you will love, content that will help you grow, increase your knowledge base, and just feel blessed and positive and motivated. So once again, thank you for joining. Next episode coming next week. Be on the lookout for the post. Like I said, like, subscribe, go back, check out the previous episodes. If you don't check them out yet, I ain't gonna lie, I still have some final edits to do in the description section, so I could like add the chapters so you could know like where to go to find a motivational message and the topic of the day and all that, like exactly the start, the minute start. So that part I have to just complete. But other than that, good content. Trust and believe. Everything. Every episode we hit them hard. Knock them across their head. Send. Wow. But yeah, I thank you for joining. Love alone, like I always say, without you, there is no All Over It podcast. And I appreciate the love and support. So I will make sure continue keeping this strategic momentum going. And I do feel like I am in a strategic position to help those around me and help motivate my people. Like my slogan said, reigniting the fire within St. Martin. Well, I reigniting the fire, not just in St. Martin. So it's love, 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 and blessings to you, my people. And I hope you have a blessed night forward, a blessed week ahead. Conquering lion spirit to you, cause I always move with conquering lion spirit. They can't keep me down. No way, no how. Check. So have a good one. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you next week right here on All Over It podcast, where we are uncovering it all. Blessings.